Morning. I'm just checking on the YouTube feed. There's something interesting happening here. If you could just let me know in the chat if this feed is okay. Interesting. Good morning. I hope this is working. My screen is having some interesting things happen to it. But good morning, team angels. Our team angels are here in the live chat with you. Feel free to say hello to your community members. It is a good morning indeed. Yesterday was such a full day for me after our live giveaway for Austin. And just waking up a little bit here with you as well. I've already got my workout in this morning, but I'm definitely waking up here along with you. Good morning from Pauline in Paris. So I asked the Ascended Masters where we should go today with creativity and communication. And they guided my awareness to the Keycode 2 Hathor initiation, which you can find, it begins on page 110 of the Sophia code. And I thought it would be really helpful if we were to read this amazing visionary introduction to the Hathor Star Nation and how they initiate our creative centers. And I feel as though this is a way that we can just get into the somatic experience of creativity and opening our body, hearts, and minds up to that Holy Spirit of your higher self flowing through you this morning. Okay, so at the bottom of page 110 in the Sophia code, there is these activations that we receive for chakras associated with creative genius, communication, as well as stepping forward and being seen as a radiant being of light. So that first paragraph at the bottom of the page that opens up these activations, it begins with the words, "The radiant sun passes through my pineal gland." And let's just read that out loud together. Oh, let's invoke the presence of Hathor first and Isis, who are our Ascended Master guides this week. So we welcome the radiant presence of Hathor, and we welcome the beautiful winged presence of Isis to stand side by side here with you and with our community, and to open our hearts and our minds to what is to be received from their mentorship this morning. Good morning. So we're reading from the bottom of 110 in the Sophia code. And I also welcome that the Hathor Star Nation is here. And these are souls that ascended with Hathor as she completed her lifetime here on Earth. And they ascended to the Sirius Star Nation, where they pretty much chose to let go of anything that would hinder their identity as these angelic beings of activation. In their ascension, they chose to allow anything that would disrupt their unified service as a collective consciousness to support the sovereign activation of other species. So when we read about the Hathor Star Nation, they are connected to the Ophmine angelic order. And we read about this angelic order in the book of Ezekiel in the Bible. And they are like, their appearances are really pared down to specific aspects of angelic virtues, such as the wings, the sacred flames, the manifestation of the singing tongues of the Holy Spirit. And we also see iconography symbolic iconography such as this during the story of Pentecost in the New Testament of the Bible as well. And there's no accident here that, I'm citing where we would find this kind of imagery in the Bible, because this mystic direct connection to the ascended masters and direct connection to source that was eventually practiced in mystical Hebrew traditions, it came out of ancient Egypt. So when we connect with Isis and Hathor, we're also connecting with that Christian lineage, that mystical Christian lineage that rose out of the Jewish community in Mount Carmel. And so when we are reading these words, we are connecting that Christ consciousness, that Holy Spirit activation that we read about in different parts of the Bible, with that ancient Egyptian ascension technology that the Hathors are embodying for us, revealing to us in their mirroring the unlimited power of the spiritual technology within ourselves. Creativity is a divine virtue of God that exists within you. You can't earn creativity. You can't buy it because it's already a part of you. How we express our creativity is, it's not just about the output of an artifact. It's a state of mind. It's a way of living your life. It's a way of choosing to engage with life from a much higher perspective, where options are available at all times to make higher and higher and more creative choices for others and for yourself. That's interesting. The computer's doing all kinds of things this morning. Okay, so on the bottom of 110, we're stepping into this visionary space with the Hathor Star Nation to activate different centers of creativity and communication within us. And at the bottom of 110, it begins with this beautiful activation with these angelic ones. Let's just read it together. It begins, the radiant sun passes through my pineal gland. Thousands of angel wings descend from the sun to clear a path of pure white light from my head to my heart. I now accept the gift of divine knowing as my birthright for remembering the Sophia code within me. What is this paragraph from from Hathor's initiation revealing to us? When we are embodying the Holy Spirit of our creativity, we are moving from our heads into our hearts. And it creates a pathway, a clear pathway, when we remember that our minds are here to be in service to our hearts, not the other way around. It creates a clear path for you to accept and utilize your gift of divine knowing, which in psychic development is known as clear cognizance. So this gift of divine knowing allows for you to act beyond the ego structure, beyond self-doubts. You're acting from a place of such deep trust and faith. And what this reveals to you is that when we're really in a creative flow, there's not a lot of thinking happening. Thoughts are in service to the clarity, the harmony, the spontaneity, the curiosity of the heart, and how the heart wants to engage in the present moment. And when we have made a conscious choice to embody our higher self, over time, that divinity of our higher self, it teaches us how to live in an ever-increasing creative approach to life, where, when we hear the word no, we don't, and, as far as obstacles about what we can manifest in this world, it's like, we don't have to accept that. We can open our hearts to creative solutions that are constantly aligning us with the yes of the universe. And this pathway from your crown, your pineal gland, into your heart, let's take a moment to visualize a sacred fire on these beautiful angelic wings and this sun of light, which is Christ consciousness, activating that clear pathway from your crown to your heart. I invite you to visualize that sun of Christ consciousness, which is your higher self, descending now through the center of your crown, traveling through your pineal gland, which is at the, along with the pituitary gland, is at the center of your head. And it is above the pituitary gland. And so it's activating these glands as it travels through your eyes. You may feel a purification in your physical eyes. And that sun descends and the angel wings are whirling and clearing and uplifting and cleansing. And this beautiful sun, this radiant sun, and these sacred flames of the Holy Spirit expand in your heart and open your heart to the divine knowing of your higher self today. You're going to feel a growing peace in the center of your heart as that sun grows brighter and brighter. And we welcome you to visualize the pineal gland within the center of your head, also glowing like a sun. A lot of our glands get calcified from the toxins, the neurotoxins in our environment, which is very unfortunate. But you can visualize the cleansing and clearing of these spiritual centers within you. And so imagine a little sun merging with the brilliant sun that just descended into your heart. And we welcome Hathor to bless this beautiful pathway, this radiant pathway of divine knowing within you this morning, so that today you can step forward and live your day with less self-doubt and more self-confidence in how your higher self is creatively guiding you today, and how your higher self is opening your heart to receive the direct communication that is always available to you from your own divinity. All right, let's go on to the next paragraph in the Keycode 2 initiation, which begins at the top of the magical page number 111. The top of 111, this imagery continues, and let's read it together out loud. The radiant sun passes through my pituitary gland. Thousands of angelic eyes singing, holy, holy, holy I am, activate the diamond-like temple of my third eye. I now accept the gift of divine seeing as my birthright for revealing the Sophia Code within me. For those of you who are new to the Sophia Code teachings, when we refer to the Sophia Code, it refers to several things, but one of which, the most important term of all, would be the divine genome, the crystalline chromosomes that exist in the subatomic universe of your DNA. And these crystalline chromosomes are spiritual technology, crystalline in nature, that can anchor the downloads of your higher self's crystalline light in ever-increasing measure within your physical form. And what happens is your higher self, when you say yes and activate this divine genome through the 8 initiations of the Sophia Code, bridges of light, bridges of consciousness begin to be built between the divine genome and your physical form. So what Hathor is sharing here again and again as her angels are activating these centers within you is that if you can feel, if you can recognize, if you can have faith in the fact that these divine virtues exist as spiritual technology within you, then you're standing on a solid foundation of understanding why your divinity can create and communicate anything in this world, why your human body has the ability to live in the unlimited sovereign light of your true nature, and how that can physically impact your daily life. So they're activating these centers so that you can see the truth of your divinity clearly, which then is going to allow you to live a deeply authentic, creative life. And as we know, creativity is the source of an abundant life, of a fulfilling life. And it's also the way that we express our greatest love to one another. It's when we're creatively thinking about how we can show up and serve others the way they need it, not the way we think they need it. So this understanding comes from divine seeing. And so let's just take a moment to visualize the presence of Hathor standing right there with you, and Isis also is here with you with her wings up. And witnessing the presence of Hathor supporting your higher self-consciousness to activate your pituitary gland this morning. And they're using these words, the diamond light temple of your third eye. What does the light flashing off of a diamond look like or feel like to you? Visualize or feel that brilliance, just flashing in every direction from your third eye, cleansing and clearing. And your third eye chakra has a front and a back. There's the back of it is at the back of your head. Just welcoming that brilliant, radiant sun and this diamond light to cleanse, purify, and bless your ability to see reality clearly, your ability to see yourself clearly as a divine creative being today. In the next paragraph, on page 111 in the Sophia Code, it continues to say, the radiant sun passes through my throat chakra. Tongues of holy fire emerge from the eyes, speaking their blessings of light language over my voice. I now accept the gift of divine speech as my birthright for activating the Sophia Code within me. My God, I mean, talk about activating creativity and communication. I mean, cheers to Hathor for this amazing visionary journey that she takes us on in her Keycode 2 initiation. So this gift of divine speech, where does divine speech come from? Where does the creative expression of your higher self come from? It comes from the active principle of it's like this active initiatory principle of the Divine Mother that opens up your consciousness to discover that you don't have to always know what you're going to say. I mean, it's nice to prepare, but some of the highest forms of creativity and communication, they are spoken without a thought. It is the communication of the heart. It is this clear pathway where your mind is in service to your heart, including how your mind would articulate and organize your thoughts. It's when your heart is open and clear and connected to your throat that spontaneous forms of communication and the ways that we can creatively collaborate with others, that's where we find our most passion. That's where we have the most fun with one another. That's where our curiosity thrives through that creative expression through our throat chakra, excuse me. And my eyes are just a little bit having trouble staying open this morning. Had a really late night. So this divine speech, we don't have to like, we get to, that's a better way of saying it. We get to co-create with the Ascended Masters and our angelic orders. And of course, supporting us to embody the creative fire of our higher self, speaking through us in new and exciting ways that inspires others to greater action, greater self-love, greater compassion, greater forgiveness, greater productivity. When we open ourselves to our higher self-consciousness, when we activate our DNA, or excuse me, our divine genome, our ability to communicate shifts, it changes. There's a period of integration where we learn how to get used to saying things and expressing things that we might not have ever said before. But there is these fiery tongues are also blessing us with the courage that it takes to really allow ourselves to explore in ways that helps us embrace who we really are, beyond our thoughts of what we're allowed to say or what we're allowed to create. It's like, are we willing to allow these fiery tongues of the Holy Spirit to move through us? And so let's take a moment to feel that presence of the Divine Mother, the Holy Spirit of your higher self, Hathor and the Hathor Star Nation, cleansing, clearing, purifying, and blessing your throat chakra this morning. And if there's any blocks between your throat and your heart, welcoming your higher self in this moment to open up that space so that you can deepen in that connection today in unexpected and miraculous ways. And I'm going to thank you for going on this journey with me through part of Hathor's Keycode 2 initiation this morning. And I wanted to just share, we got so much feedback from yesterday's live giveaway for Austin, and that the timing worked so well for so many people internationally that starting on Monday, we're going to move the KR daily transmission to 9 a.m. Pacific. So we're going to move it up 1 hour, and that's going to start next week. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your comments. I can't see them for some reason. My screen isn't allowing me to view them. So hopefully it'll be different tomorrow. And thank you for all of your beautiful participation in yesterday's live. Congratulations again to Sophia Grace, who was the winner of our live event Austin giveaway. And yeah, so thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing our Q&A, KR Daily Transmission Q&A, and that will still be at give or take a few minutes, 8 a.m. Pacific. So love you all so much. Have a wonderful day with Hathor today, exploring the gifts of your higher self's creativity.